Yo, what is up, college football nation? It is Anthony back here today, and I don't know why I'm saying back here today. This is my first video. This is another account that I have that I was gonna use for basketball content, but I love college football. I mean, it's college football season. It's football season, so I'm gonna come up here every week or so and make a video about my takes. Of course, this weekend is conference championship weekend. Friday, December 1st and Saturday, December 2nd. We have 7 games to go over and my takes on all of them, the over-unders, the win odds, and all of the stuff. So, here we go. First video. Alright. So our first matchup that we have of college football conference championship weekend is New Mexico State and Liberty. Liberty's top 25, undefeated. They don't really have an insane win right now, but they're getting by these teams and they're still undefeated, so they have made their way up to 25 in the AP pool, I believe. Or is it the College Football Playoff Committee? I don't know which one this is exactly. And New Mexico State, of course, is coming off that humongous win against the Auburn Tigers. And looking to pull off an upset here as Liberty is a 83.2% favorite. 83.2% chance to win this game compared to Mexico's little 16.8% chance to win this game. I would say the X factor in this game is the quarterback. I don't really watch much Liberty and New Mexico State football. I'll probably be tuning into this game for about 30 minutes until the Oregon-Washington Pac-12 championship game comes on, so I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Looking at their stats here, it looks like Kay Salter is doing pretty good on the year with his 29 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. So, yeah, he's doing pretty good. So, we are going to head to the next game. This is wait, let me go back. We ain't heading to the next game. I'm going to say Liberty wins in a close matchup. 34-27. Yeah, I'll lock that in. Our next game on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, presented by ABC, is the battle for a playoff spot, Oregon and Washington. And on the ESPN app right here, it says that Oregon is actually a 75.8% chance to win this game. Looks like they are the favorites according to ESPN Analytics, and Washington only has a 24.2% chance to win this game. So, the number 6 Oregon Ducks, I don't know exactly where they play the Pac-12 championship every year. I'm sure it's like Rose Bowl Stadium. But the Oregon Ducks take on the Washington Huskies at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And Washington's undefeated. Washington already beat Oregon earlier this year in Washington. This one isn't going to be in Washington. I feel like Oregon's been playing a whole lot better football lately. And Washington's really struggled against some easy games that they really could have won. Like that Washington State one last week I tuned in. They had to have a game-winning field goal to win that one. They really struggled against Oregon State as well, that Oregon also steamrolled. And same with Utah. It came down to what did it come down to? It was not converted, a game-winning touchdown or something like that. And Oregon, of course, steamrolled them, I think, like 31 to like 6 or something like that. So Oregon is 75.8% chance favorites to win this game. And Washington is the underdog here. I would say in this game, the X factor is definitely Bo Nix. If Bo Nix can have a good game for the Oregon Ducks and put up the stats that he's been putting up the last couple of weeks, the Oregon Ducks will win the Pac-12 championship and earn their spot in the college football playoffs. If Bo Nix can't put up good stats and is a turnover machine in this game, I do think the Washington Huskies end up winning because they aren't a bad team whatsoever. I would say they're not as good as the record says, but they're also a pretty good team. They're a solid football team. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think that the Oregon defense will get back at Michael Penix, maybe force a turnover. And maybe this is Bo Nix's Heisman game because He's obviously the runaway favorite right now, even though Jaden Daniels has better stats than him. It doesn't matter. Oregon only has 1 loss compared to LSU's 3. And the Heisman has become kind of a team award. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that one. I think the Oregon Ducks win in a tightly... Actually, I think Oregon Ducks win it by a good margin. I'll say 42-31, Oregon. At 12 p.m., we have the Big 12 Championship with the Texas Longhorns playing the Oklahoma State Cowboys at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Texas is 88.1% odds to win this game, so they are the favorites on ESPN Analytics by a wide margin. I'm also getting all this information from ESPN, the ESPN app, so if you want to go check that out. For this first video, I'm just using my phone, but I do have the computer right up here that will get booted up eventually. It's kind of stuck on a screen right now, so yeah. And the Oklahoma State Cowboys are 9-3, taking on the 11-1 Texas Longhorns, who might be battling for a playoff spot here. Depends on what Florida State does. If they win, I think that Florida State's in. If they lose, I think that Texas will take their spot. If Florida State loses. Because whoever wins Oregon and Washington is going to the playoff. But I think the X factor in this game is that Oklahoma State running back. That Oklahoma State running back is the X factor in this game. I don't exactly know his name. I know he has ridiculous stats and is the best running back in college football right now. TCU didn't have to play them this year, luckily, so my team didn't have to play against them. But if he has like a crazy game, goes for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, I think that Oklahoma State probably has a pretty good chance. But until he proves me wrong, I'm going to take Texas 45-24 in this game. I think Texas is just going to be firing on all cylinders. The defense is going to play great. Quinn Ewers and Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell are going to get that connection back, that special connection right before the college football playoff. And then after that, Texas is just going to have to rely on Louisville to take down Florida State. Yeah, on to our next game, which is a huge college football playoff decider. The University of Georgia versus the University of Alabama. This is a big game, 100%. This is one of the biggest games of the entire season, and this will be the last time the SEC is on CBS for as far as I know. And the matchup predictor for ESPN Analytics has Georgia with a 52.1% chance to win this football game, and Alabama with a 47.9%. So this is a pretty evenly matched game. Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs haven't faced off against Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide since the 2021 National Championship, where Georgia ended up winning that game. But before that, they played in the SEC Championship in 2021, which was actually the last time the Georgia Bulldogs lost a football game. So Alabama, if anyone's going to take down Georgia, it will probably be Alabama. So if Alabama ends up winning this game, then Alabama might run away with it. And they honestly could make the college football playoffs. But you also have to argue, can you keep a one-loss Georgia team out of the college football playoff? They might make it either way. Alabama might not make it at all. But, we could see 2 SEC teams in the college football playoff, but I hope not. I really don't want any SEC teams to be in because SEC just kind of owns the college football playoff, coming from a TCU fan who went to the national championship in Los Angeles, California, who watched her team get decimated for about 3.5 quarters before I decided to leave the stadium. Yeah. So I do hope that Alabama wins this, but last time I picked against Georgia was earlier in the season when Kentucky was on that hot streak. I picked Kentucky to win. That was a horrible take. One of the worst takes I've ever had in my lifetime, actually. So I am going to pick Georgia in a 31-34 victory. Yeah. Georgia's just a better football team than Alabama. I think that Kirby Smart is going to outcoach Nick Saban in this game. Carson Beck is going to be good. But the X factor in this game, I feel like, is Jalen Milroe. If Jalen Milroe can have a 300 yards, 4 touchdown, no interception performance, Alabama will win this football game. Alabama has to pass better than Georgia. If Alabama doesn't pass better than Georgia, then they won't win the game. I think that Georgia and Kendall Milton is going to outrun them. But if Alabama can pass better than them, then I think Alabama could win this game. All right, what I'm going to wrap these last 3 up pretty quickly because there's only one more important one. Then I'm going to give you my college football playoff picture. And the American Conference Championship with SMU and Tulane. Of course, SMU has been playing outstanding football since that loss earlier in the season to TCU. I personally hate SMU because I'm a TCU fan, and we kind of own them. We've owned them for the last couple of years. They have a lot better record than us this season, but they're 10-2, and one of their 2 losses is to TCU. So I'm gonna pick, and they're playing against Tulane, who is coming off of a Cotton Bowl victory against USC last season. I think that Tulane will win the American. SMU is actually 72.5% chance to win this game. I think that Tulane will win this game. Tulane will win this game. Tulane will prove SMU wrong, and Tulane's playing better football. Tulane's ranked, SMU's not. Tulane's only loss is to a good Ole Miss team by a couple of points. So I think Tulane's actually legit, and they'll make a New York Six Bowl again if they can beat SMU. Which I think they will. I think they're throwing the ball a lot better this season, actually. Yeah, Pratt's 21 touchdown to 4 interception ratio is very good. Next one, Michigan and Iowa at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Jim Harbaugh is back to coaching. And there's this headline right here. Jim Harbaugh, I would say it's good to be back, but I never left. Jim Harbaugh was sitting on his couch during the Michigan-Ohio State game, watching his assistant coach up the Michigan Wolverines to another victory for the 3rd straight season in a row against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Michigan, quite frankly, owns Ohio State at this point, and it's going to be a long time until Ohio State beats Michigan because now Marvin Harrison Jr. is leaving. But maybe they have a shot next year when Blake Corum leaves. In this, playing Iowa. Iowa's offense sucks, but they have one of the best defenses in the nation. That's what got them to this 10-2 season in the Big Ten Championship, ranked number 17 in the nation. Michigan has a 92.6% chance to win this football game. And quite frankly, I think it'll be a low-scoring game, but I think they'll end up winning. I'll say 24-14 Michigan. Iowa's defense is going to hold them to some of the lowest points they've had all season. Of course, they only had 30 in their last game against Ohio State, but I think this Iowa defense is probably better than the Ohio State defense. But Iowa just can't score offensively, so maybe 24-10. I don't know if I see them getting a touchdown on the Michigan Wolverine defense. They couldn't put up any points against Penn State. Last game we got here, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. The Louisville Cardinals versus the Florida State Seminoles. Wow, is this going to be a game? I think if Jordan Travis was playing, FSU might actually win by 20. FSU might actually win by 20 if Jordan Travis was playing. But Jordan Travis isn't playing. I was at the North Alabama game when Jordan Travis went down with a devastating season-ending injury where he hurt his knee. Prayers up to Jordan Travis and his family, hoping for a quick recovery from him. Obviously, he skipped surgery to go watch them play Florida in the swamp. And that's awesome by him, but he needs to get that surgery done so he can have NFL dreams, hopefully. But Tate Rodemaker played Florida Saturday night, and he did not play well for that first half of football. He did come back and ended up winning the game for Florida State. It was really Trey Benson. But if Tate Rodemaker plays like that again, Florida State's not beating Louisville. The X factor in this game is Trey Benson. If Trey Benson can run for 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, Florida State will beat Louisville. Kentucky beat Louisville. Louisville had some bad turnovers. This Florida State defense, Jared Verse has to get the pressure in. They have to get some strip sacks, some interception. They have got to create havoc for this Florida State team to win. And I think that Louisville is just going to take good care of the football. FSU has a 74.4% chance of winning. And this is in North Carolina, I believe. It might even be in the Panthers Stadium. Louisville has a 25.6% chance to win this game on the ESPN match predictor. But they also still have Jordan Travis's stats. So I guess they just forgot about Jordan Travis being injured. I don't think so, though. But if Trey Benson has a good game, then an amazing game that FSU will win. If Jack Plummer can take care of the football, I think Louisville will pull off the upset. Now, in this case, I'm going to be honest. I truly do want FSU to win because that is around my area, and I do want them to make it back to the national championship again. Because it's been, 10 years since they've won the national championship. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Florida State in this game, but I think that Louisville might pull off the upset here. Louisville is going to knock Florida State out of the college football playoff. Because Jack Plummer, at the end of the day, is a better quarterback than Tate Rodemaker. And that's just the truth. All right. Before we end off this video, let me get into my college football playoffs 2023-2024. I'm not going to give you my national championship prediction. I'm going to give you the 4 teams after this conference championship week who are going to be in the college football playoffs. Number 1, I picked Georgia to win. I'm going to stand by that. The Georgia Bulldogs will be the 1 seed heading into the college football playoffs. I think Michigan gets it done. The Michigan Wolverines will be the 2 seed heading into the college football playoffs. And they'll be facing up against the 3 seed. Now, this is where we're going to get it shocking. The 3 seed is going to be the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks are going to beat Washington, and they are going to take Washington's place in the college football playoffs. And since I said I have Florida State losing, Oregon will jump up into that 3 slot, going 12-1. Of course, Georgia and Michigan are undefeated 13-0 conference champions at this point. Oregon is 12-1. Great football team. And my 4 seed, this might be a little bit shocking to everybody, but I have Texas jumping Ohio State in the AP pool and the college football playoff ranking committee, which of course hasn't came out yet. It comes out tomorrow night at I think about 9:00 Eastern time. So I don't know where the committee has Ohio State after the loss, but I think that Georgia, Michigan, Texas, and Oregon will be the 4 teams in the college football playoffs this year. Texas will be the 4 seed, Oregon will be the 3. Texas and Georgia will face off in the first round, and Oregon and Michigan will face off in the first round. I will talk about all the other bowl games in my next video, but until then, I will see everybody, and I will see y'all in the next one. All right, bye!